Pokemon's Gaming.
So let's turn the table slightly. So far the rules have all been about showing you what the orcs might do to the humans. It works the same way either side, but let's give the humans some love. So this human striker is going to demonstrate the steal manoeuvre. That's where he's going to try and run up and either knock the ball out of the hands of this Jack or completely take the ball off him and have it in his own hands. So a steal manoeuvre is a 3 dice speed test. Being a striker, you get an extra dice. The Jack has the option, because the Jack is an all-rounder, to either slam back or dodge. But it's either a 3 dice strength or a 3 dice speed X test. They're both X tests because it's opposed rolls. Whoever rolls the most successes wins, and doubling might mean extra benefits. So, human striker is running up and is going to try and steal. And it's going to try and steal from that hex there. So it's 3 dice, plus 1 for being a striker means 4 dice. And we have 3, 3, 6 and 6. They are both fails, but the 2 6s are extra rolls. Another 2 6s, so that's 4 successes. And another 2 5s, so in total 6 successes, because target number was 4, because speed of a human is 4. We're electing to dodge here, could slam back, could dodge. Because he's a goblin, he's got a lower speed, so it's an easier test to pass, because he's speed 3, than it would be his strength of 5, if he slammed back. Even then, despite it being an easier test, only gets 2 successes. So that was 6 successes versus 2 successes, meaning a doubling. So a doubling in this instance means the ball is taken, stripped out of the hands of the Jack and put in the hands of the striker. Had it not been a doubling but still a success, then the ball would have scattered. I'll cover scattering separately, but we'll quickly just go over it here. The scattering works like this. So he grabbed the ball, he was successful, that's his action over. However, as I say, had he just won it but not doubled, the ball would have scattered. And the ball scatters in the direction of the standing up player, so that'd be 1 on the hex and work round clockwise for the direction it's going to go. We've rolled a 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the ball is going to scatter, in this instance, in the direction of the striker. It's going to scatter 6 hexes. So it would scatter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all the way up here. But there's a striker in the way. The striker has the ability to try and catch the ball. So being a striker, it's a skill test to catch the ball, so it's a 4. It's always 4s anyway with the humans, apart from a striker's armour check. So we roll the dice, he's rolled a 2, he didn't catch the ball, so it will now scatter from the striker, and as he's also stood, 1 is on this position now. 3. So 1, 2, 3. The ball definitely wants to travel that way, so the ball is going to scatter, get it on camera, 3. So from here it's going to scatter 1, 2, 3 hexes and scatters out to there. We'll cover scattering in full, but might as well show you how that would have happened had he tried to steal the ball but failed to double. Because he did double the successes, he caught it, so it was irrelevant. But I thought it was an opportune time to show you what could happen. So, scattering the ball is the next thing I want to show you. Let's put a player on the pitch. Put a Jack on, in fact. make a bit more sense because guards can't carry the ball. So we have this jack on the pitch. The ball can scatter from him if he makes a dash move and falls, so the ball would scatter. If he gets slammed and knocked over, the ball could scatter. If someone tries to steal from him but doesn't double his successes, the ball could scatter. So there's various different reasons why the ball could scatter, but how the ball scatters is pretty much the same throughout. So let's work to the assumption that he's been running and he's falling because he tried to do a dash manoeuvre and failed. The way to determine the direction the ball will scatter is done from, I'm in charge of this player, and it's done from the opposing coach's direction. So I'm sitting at this side of the table and coaching from here, so it would be a 1 would be facing that way. If I was sitting at this side of the table, the 1 on the clock would be this direction. But because I'm sitting on this is the side I'm coaching from, a 1 would be in that direction. And all you do is roll your d6 and work out where in the hex. So 1. So the ball's going to scatter from this hex in that direction by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The ball scatters out to there. Let's try that again. So a 1. A 1. Okay, it wants to roll 1s here. A 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the ball, if it was a 5, would scatter off in this direction by 1. So it would scatter to there. If the player is standing up when he loses control of the ball, the 1 on the clock face is determined by the facing of the player. So in this instance, the 1 would be down here and we go clockwise. 1. God, is that a loaded dice? 1. I think it is. So it would go 1 direction by 1. Yeah, something's going odd here. I'm rolling inconsistently 1s. Must have been camera shy. I've rolled it again and again and again and again, and it's not rolled a 1 since. It just get caught in a time loop and wanted to roll 1s. So there we go. So the next test that I would like to show you is the throw test. Now, because this is a striker, he can actually run his full complement and then he can throw. If he was a jack, he could only move 1 hex and then throw. So he can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he's taking his 5 movement and then try and throw the ball to this player. With throwing, this is where the rules become slightly different. It's still a skill test, but it's determined by distance. So the further away you are, the harder it is. So in this instance, we are 1, 2, 3, 4 hexes away from our target. 1 to 3 hexes would be a 3 dice test. 4 to 6 hexes is a 2 dice test. And 7 to 9 hexes is a 1 dice test. So we are a 2 dice test because we're 4 hexes away. We are also a striker, so we get an extra dice for throwing. However, the player has moved or turned during this action, meaning that he's going to lose a dice. So it's a skill test, so targets are 4, targets are mostly 4 anyway with the humans, and he's got to roll to get a success. Failed. So the ball would be thrown and scatter from here. So we're still in the same instance. We're going to try and roll and get a success and show you what would happen if we got a success. 3 and 1, we fail. We'll work on this till we get a success. There we go. We've got 1 success, 2 successes, 2 successes because the 6 allowed a reroll. That amount of successes determines the amount of dice that the other player has to catch. We rolled the 2 successes, so the other player has 2 dice to try and catch the ball. This time round, it's a skill 1 test, so they need 1 success to catch it, 2 success doubles. So it was 1 success, the player catches the ball. Had we rolled 2 successes, it would have been a doubling, which would have given the player a free action. The free action can either be a run or a throw. So the player could run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alternatively, the player could move the same distance but declare a throw action. So they could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and attempt a throw. And from there, they could attempt a throw and try to score. So it hasn't cost this player any points to catch the ball, and it hasn't cost this player any points to make their throw action. They're taking 5 movement as part of the throw action because they're a striker and they can move their full run complement. A jack could only move 1 and a guard, remember, can never carry the ball at all. So the test this time, we are 1, 2, 3, 4 hexes away from where we're trying to shoot and score. So we know that being a 2 dice test. We also know that this is a striker, so they gain an extra dice. We also know the striker moved during this turn, so they lose a dice. What we also have though is they're trying to score, they're trying to throw the ball into the strike hex, so you lose another dice for attempting to throw it into the strike hex. So we have 1 dice and we need a 4 to score. 4. So he shoots, he scores! From there, every player stays where they're at and the ball re-enters play on the left-hand side of whoever rush it's about to become. So it would be the opposing player, so the ball would enter up on there on that side. Assuming though he threw and he missed, he rolled a 2 with that 1 dice, the ball would scatter from that position because the player is trying to score here, his coach is up here, isn't he? Which means 1 on the clock face is here and we would work round clockwise. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 determines where the ball would scatter. And we've rolled a 4, so the ball would scatter 1, 2, 3, 4. So it would scatter in that direction by 1 hex. So it would scatter from here to there.
Apocalypse Gaming.